It's Catherine Dager, and I am here to drain the swamp. If you know anybody that works with a super negative person, and you know what I'm talking about, it's crazy when somebody is sucking your energy. And what I'm going to do tonight is to share with you how to totally turn that around in some simple tips. And also we're going to delve deeply into what is this negativity all about anyway, and so we can really continue to sustain a really clean, fun environment at work. So grab pencils and pens and things to write with, because I've got to say this is such an important topic. And also, please, hi Ginger, how are you? So good to see you. Yeah, you owe me some training card edits. And I'm going to share this with your company. But you know, it's so important because we all work so hard. We have so much. Hi, Victor. We have so many things going on in our lives. It is critical that we have an enjoyable experience at work. I know so many people who drag this negative person to work and back in their mind. So it's consuming. So this is some of the things that I want to really point out to you, and I know you know this, but it's going to make it crystal clear. Do you have an employee that's always negative? And you know, the person everybody walks on eggshells around so they don't disturb them, or the one everybody avoids. So do you ever confront that person? And do you really think that if you do confront them, that they're just going to go splat and all of this emotional negativity is going to come flying out? Well, here's the thing. If you don't confront it, what effect does that person have on your team? What effect does that person have on you? And what effect does that have on the customers? Because the customers can feel it all. And literally, if you look at it in dollars and cents, this truly does cost you money to have negativity persisting in your environment. So it is so important to again, pay attention and avoiding confronting that person. I have news for you. It's literally like giving them permission to continue that behavior. So the consequences of these 3 tips could cause you to lose lots of money. True? And also, you'll put in more hours than you will even care to admit, and it doesn't change the behavior, and that's really what we want. We don't want anyone to suffer, including your customers. So it's really important to really focus on this and imagine what it would be like. Just imagine. Hi, Mark. Great to see you. Imagine what it would be like if everyone was positive, they're committed, they're engaged, and they're enthusiastic. What would that be like every single day? All across the board, that everybody's bouncing around and getting excited and really engaging with customers and have a sense of confidence because they know they just love doing what they're doing and they're doing it well. So this is why I'm here and I'm sharing this with you. In fact, I just got back from Chicago. I had just implemented all of this in a company that's just wonderful. And you know, some of the things that I see all along in the workplace, and I have made me very passionate about changing the whole face of the workplace in the United States, starting in the United States, but also working worldwide. So I'm going to be just sharing gifts for the last 30 years. I have noticed, and I've been talking to business owners and worked with literally over 100 different companies in a very close proximity, getting to know them well. And I ask the business leaders and business and the managers, what percentage of their life is about work, either thinking about it or doing it. And they tell me at least 80% is about work. And you know what? If something's not going well, like there's somebody there that's being really negative, that really causes disturbance. And then what percentage does it consume of your life? And I notice when people avoid going to work every day, I see them driving, it looks like they've got their handbrake on. They just don't want to go where they're going. So we want to turn that around, and I have found some incredible tools and incredible strategies to do just that. And in some ways too, hi Dawn, lovely to see you. Oh my gosh, this is great. So one of the things that I own a company called Profitivity, and I have been, working away to see how can we create a sustainable environment of positivity, productivity, profit, and also new possibilities. So that's what I'm all about, and it's a mission for me. And at the end of this Facebook Live, I'm going to invite you to a webinar that will give you maybe some new ways of looking at things, and you can invite all of your friends, any colleagues to join us, because it's really an uplifting, very positive, and again, filled with life skills. It's got to tell you too, everything that I've shared with Profitivity has been so just inundated with life skills. Because what I discovered years ago, instead of wanting to be a psychologist, I thought, you know what, I'm going to shift the workplace into something super positive so everyone wins. And so I studied human behavior and psychology. And I've learned so much that has to do with life skills and bringing them to work, and they ignite the heart. And when people's hands and hearts are involved, it's just gorgeous. It's so, so fun. So I just wanted to say that, Profitivity Inc. is the company that I founded, and I have a new business partner. She's absolutely fabulous. I've known her for years, but we decided to, hi Valjean, so nice to see you. So Danielle Isaac and I started a new business to create all kinds of online systems and programs so that we could take all of this education and share it worldwide. And the name of the company is Business Solutions, Soulutions, where we bring the soul power to businesses worldwide. So exciting. So let's get on to this topic of negativity and what it does to us and what it does if we tolerate it. There are 3 things you can do to eliminate negativity so you can have more joy and more participation in your business. So let's take a look at what do people get out of being negative. Think about one person in your life that you either have as a relative or someone that you've worked with that's just negative all of the time. I mean, every single thing that you mention, boom. And I want to also point out that negativity comes out in 2 very specific ways. And one is more pervasive than the other. Negativity can be either verbal or nonverbal. And according to research, about 85 to 90% of our communication is nonverbal. So if someone just rolls their eyes, or if someone is grimacing, or someone just, has their head down, looking down and walking right past you, the nonverbal is what we are picking up. And that is so powerful. Now, so the first thing is make everyone on your team aware that their nonverbal communication is spewing out into the field around them. And then I think about this, and it's funny, but it's also true. How often do you see your face every day? I don't see mine at all. I'm looking out into the world and not looking at my facial expression. But guess what? What I'm seeing and what I'm projecting out there is whatever is going on inside of me, moving through my attitudes and emotions and showing itself on my face. And I have no clue if I've maybe zoned out for a few moments, I'm thinking about something else. So you know what? It's really important to be mindful of our own nonverbal communication. And what I'm going to recommend as tip number 1 is support each other in having a positive facial expression, in having shoulders back, walk with a quick pace, pick your feet up off the ground as you walk. Some people just scuffle, and it's kind of like it has kind of an attitude to it. So the other thing is, so definitely nonverbal communication is really important, but also verbal communication. No, that won't work. No, we tried that before. And how many possibilities can that negativity squelch? So what we want to do is we want to make a commitment to creating on purpose a positive work environment for all of us. If 80% of our life is doing or thinking about work, let's create on purpose positive environment and also positive, productive relationships. And that's where it's so yummy when people really get along and they feel free and safe to communicate and to also innovate. So beautiful. So let's look at what people get out of being negative. You think about the person that comes to mind that you know is always negative. What are they getting out of it? You think about it. And I hope you're really, there is a payoff. They really, sometimes, misery loves company. I've heard all of these things before. But when you really take a look at it unconsciously, thank you so much, Valjean. I'd love to talk with you sometime. I'd love to share, because I know we have so many things in common. And say hello to your beautiful woman. So one of the things that I really want you to think about is the power that people have over the environment when they're being negative. So what they get out of it unconsciously, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt, unconsciously they are getting attention. And let's look at where that starts. Think about a little tiny kid. First thing out of the mom, first thing is cry, right? And then they cry to be changed, and they cry to say, hey, I'm hungry. So crying is our first language. It's our first communication system with our caregivers. But then they're 2 years old, and they go into a public space, and they fall down and have this meltdown or a temper tantrum right in the middle of a floor in a store or at a restaurant. And what do some parents, not all of them, but what do some parents do? That's right, they coddle them. They bribe them. One of my clients has a big candy counter right by their register, and they're in Montana. And they said all these kids go right by the Skittles and have a meltdown. And it's just predictable. And the parents will get them the Skittles, just to get them to quiet down. So truly, this isn't something that people learn. So what are the parents teaching that child? Yes, they're actually teaching, unconsciously, teaching that child, this is a great way to get attention. This is a great way to get what you want. So again, not everyone, but most of the time what I do as a psychologist, what I see is that people get attention by being negative. And they are not aware of it. It's a habit, and that's such an important distinction. They've been getting away with it all of their lives. So guess what? We're going to turn it around. So isn't that interesting? I mean, I had an aunt, a great aunt, that used to she was always sick. And I remember very distinctly, she had the most beautiful husband, my Uncle Harvey, and his Aunt Shirley. And he just doted on her. I mean, he died before she did. I think she had everything operated on in her body. Don, do you remember them? I don't know if you knew them well. Aunt Shirley and Uncle Harvey. I used to go and have sardines with them. It's just so hilarious. But anyway, this woman who is just a sweetheart, but she was always sick and demanded all kinds of attention from the entire family. So some people that are hypochondriacs run their whole world from their bed. It's kind of amazing. So here it is. Another thing, huge, is people avoid them and don't give them feedback. And that actually promotes that behavior. So to me, truly, the thing to do is to find a way to not confront the person, but prompt the behavior we want. So guess what? I have something super special for you because they need to be prompted. And you know what? Most companies that I work with, when I begin with them, they don't have a lot of things written down. Maybe they have an employee handbook. Nobody reads it after the first day. But what I want you to do, and talk to me, and let's put this together for you and your business. And that is create ground rules for work and life. And one of the ground rules is no swamping. That's what I've created so that we aren't being confrontive. We're actually laughing at the negativity and going, oh, are you swamping me? And you can just smile at them and they go, oh my gosh, I am. I didn't realize I was being so negative. So why I call it swamping? Because first of all, negativity acts like a swamp. If you've ever seen a swamp, you end up going, stepping into it and sinking. And when you step into negativity, what happens to you? Right, you sink. And when I was about 7 years old, I saw this classic movie, African Queen, with Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn. And what I just think is so cool, there's a scene in there where they're strapping some dynamite onto their old boat, which is the African Queen, and they were going to blow up a German submarine during World War II. So that's a little bit of the plot. So they go into the swamp quietly, moving that boat over to blow up the ship, the submarine. And they get out of the swamp, and they were covered with leeches. Ew. And this is long before Fear Factor, right? So here's the thing. What do leeches do? That's right. They suck your blood. What does negativity do? It sucks your energy. And very often it's subtle. But isn't it kind of crazy that if there's an unwilling person, uncooperative or negative person, the one that brings drama to work all the time, the one that talks about everything and gossips or is unhappy about situations and spreads it around, creates a them and us kind of a situation, who are you thinking about on your way home? So are they sucking your energy? Yes. So this is what we're going to do. Create a new rule, beautiful rule, no swamping. And if someone is swamping, we're going to bring it to their attention. Do you like that? I tell you what, I just implemented this in the company in Chicago. And I've got to tell you a little story. The owner's just this beaming guy. He's this wonderful person. I've known them probably about 9 years. And the wife, though, has got a pinched face, and she's really kind of like, and the employees and the managers were all kind of like, Catherine, can you turn this person around? And I go, I'm going to give it my best, believe me, just to bring it to her attention. And I just want to tell you, completely transformed. She became clearly aware of her own behavior, her facial expression, and when I left on Tuesday night, she was glowing, and she was calling out people for swamping, and she let them call her out for that negative facial expression or swamping. Isn't that cool? And you know what? It's going to change her life, because when we have a facial expression that's pinched or negative, the brain follows the facial expression. I'll talk about that in another Facebook Live. But the brain literally mirrors your emotions to your facial expression. So the joy is, and I'm just going to tell you, all you have to do is smile. And just literally just fake it till you make it. I'm sure you've known that one in your life. But it's such a wonderful and important thing to do, is to just put a smile on your face and hold it. And put your energy, your shoulders back, and just focus on and creating a beautiful wave of energy in your body. And it just will shift you right around. It's so great. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm just telling you, negativity is usually unconscious. People they don't get out of bed in the morning going, well, how many people am I going to make miserable? No, it doesn't work that way. So what we're doing instead is we're going, okay, consciously we'll eliminate that. And what we want is each other to be mirrors. Because we don't see our face throughout the day, if someone has a negative facial expression, here's tip number 3. Come up with a little cue, sweet, innocent, neutral little cue, like saying, okay, come back, turn that frown upside down or something silly. Oh, one of the ones that we used in Chicago was bump a grump. So, and people are like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that I had that frown on my face. And basically what it is people are unconscious. because where our brain does that. I'm going to talk about that next week. The brain loves that comfort zone and does not like to stay conscious, but we need to be conscious of each other and conscious of what we are communicating with each other. So it's really great. So create a little slogan and let people know that, you know, if your facial expression starts looking really negative, that you know, give each other permission to go over and say, hey, come back, you know, where'd you go? And people can choose to be positive. So the other thing is that if you see something, just say, I noticed that you had a frown on your face, or I noticed, or I saw that, you know, that you are, I heard also that you were saying, no, that won't work. And, you know, let's get back to being positive. Let's listen to each other with respect and with honoring. So this is really an important part. So I hope that really helps you. And I'm just going to say that keeping the environment free of swamping is so easy. It does take some daily rituals. If you have a huddle, go, okay, what consequence are we going to do if we find each other swamping? And, you know, let's all focus on what good looks like. And then we'll create that. And also, sometimes I get my clients to come up with a list of the behavior that's not acceptable. So everybody is on the same page and they all know exactly what is expected. And that's just great, especially the first day, you know, just let them know what in the heck is this swamping thing. But I tell you what, within a couple of weeks, and I've seen huge transformations in people because they just weren't aware. Is this good or what? So I'm going to say, if you know anyone, share. Please share this video with everybody that you know, even people that, like my Aunt Shirley, who wasn't aware that she was running the family from her bed. And also, again, not with judgment, not with any kind of trying to, you know, teach them a lesson. We want to just prompt behavior to be positive. And we're going to work with behavior, not make any judgments on the person. So this is magical, and it really does turn everything around so that you can start having a lot of great experiences with everybody. So embrace the importance of keeping things positive, and don't let the swamp win. And, you know, and let people know they can catch you if you're swamping. I mean, it's leveling the playing field. We're all in this together. Everyone focused on the desired results. So we're so wonderful when we are being positive with each other. And, you know, speak in behaviors. This is what I saw. This is what I heard. Paint a picture that they can see it so that they know that you are not confronting them, but you're saying, choose positive. Put this, even if it's a fake smile, have a smiling contest. Get everyone, and I did this in Chicago. I had everyone smile for a minute. And you should have seen the looks on their faces. They're like, oh my gosh, a minute's a very long time. But by the end, they just felt like warm, fuzzy, happy. It was great. And it's a great way to start the day. It really is. And it's not, you know, I'm not trying to be Pollyanna here. I'm just saying your brain follows your facial expression. You really want to create that positivity wherever you go. So I hope this is absolutely great for you, and that you want more and more and more, because I'm going to keep dishing it out and sharing all my wonderful tools and strategies with everyone. And on Tuesday, I'm going to be teaching 3 more tips on how to keep the workplace positive. It will just keep on that theme so that you can really have some new ways of doing things that will really work. And then I'm also inviting you to a live webinar that I'll be doing next Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock a.m. That's Pacific time. So it's like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in, no, I don't know. Never mind. You do the math. And it's this webinar is so much fun, and it's also tremendous tools involved in it as well. Again, life skills. And if you've kind of gotten a little bit, I don't know, caught up in work, and you just aren't seeing yourself thriving and feeling great about it, or you're just working too many hours and wearing too many hats, this is for you. But it's the live webinar, and I'll post it on this, so you can just hit a link. And also, again, please share it with people that run businesses or just want a good lift, because it really will. The number one way to build legacy and to supercharge your team. So I'm going to be posting that link, and I just want to tantalize you a little bit too. At the end of the webinar, I'm going to be giving a gift of time with me, and it's worth $1,000. And the first 10 people that sign up for that webinar are going to receive that gift. So right now, as soon as I post it, just hit that link and join me, and you will not be sorry. It's really uplifting and it's great. And also, put a smile on your face. Have fun. Radiate the joy that's inside your heart, and high energy attracts. High energy is just such an important part of healing, and it also removes a lot of toxicity. So this is really for you, for your health, for your well-being. And I just wish you a great, great week. And I'll see you on Tuesday at the webinar, and I'll be doing the Facebook Live again and in the evenings about this time, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, mwah. Take care. Thank you so much for joining me, and share this with people. Please, please, please. We have a movement to change the workplace all throughout every organization throughout the world. And I'm not stopping until I do that. So take care, and thanks for joining me.